Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise for the singing of the national anthem of Ropeconia?
Täytyy pukeutua
ja boffot teroittaa.
Sanopil heittää lämää
ja hippoi verottaa.
On mulla fiilis aivan voittamaton, ton. Sillä vain kerran vuodessa on Ropecon, kon.
Ropecon!
Hyvin roolit kun pelittää.
Sääntöi ei selittää.
Lyödään miekalla porttia
kohti avaruusporttia. Nyt täytyy eläytyä ja pikut leikata. Saa kivet paperoida ja paprut leikata. On mulla riemu aivan loppumaton, ton. Miksi vain kerran vuodessa on Ropecon, kon. Kavairare uvgeima. Kavairare uvgeima.
Expa.
Kavairare uvgeima. Kavairare uvgeima.
Expa.
Saaks mä kertoo mun hahmosta?
Heitin 30 dekutosta.
Alta lateksi korsetin.
Minä apua morsetin.
Nyt täytyy päästä pakoon, mua kutsuu hittinen. On pakko onnistua ja heittää kriittinen. Mua täällä uhkaa suuri Harmagedon, don. Onneks vain kerran vuodessa on Ropecon, kon.
Mua täällä uhkaa suuri Harmagedon, don.
Expa. Kavairare uvgeima.
Expa.
Kavairare uvgeima.
Expa.
Kavairare uvgeima.
Expa.
Ropecon.
Hyvä Maija ja Tuomo, kiitos. Thank you guys. You may now be seated. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, and things that don't fit into the category of ladies or gentlemen or even human. How you guys doing? Yeah. Are you all ready for Ropecon 20? Yeah, me too. It's an awesome place to be because it's really not very commercial. It's really great, this place to be, because everybody here is really doing something awesome. You can talk to anybody and they've just got awesome ideas and awesome campaigns going on. It's really a con by the people, for the people. Or maybe by the space vampires, for the manticores. That's fine. My name is Johanna McDonald. I'll be your host for this opening ceremonies. We're gonna welcome you very nicely. So, well, thank you very much. So, who here has been to, let's say, more than 5 Ropecons? No. You make noise. Who here has been more than 5 Ropecons? Okay, who's been more than 10? All right, I'm going to do this. Who's been here more than 15 times? Really? 17. Now you're just pulling my leg now. Has anybody actually been here for 19 Ropecons? A big award to you right now! And you get 20. You are lying through your teeth, sir. That's absolutely mental. 20 times. This is really fab. And the best thing about it is that it's no longer so crap to be a nerd. I should know. No, I really grew up, for instance, like when I was a kid, you had to call yourself a geek. Because that wasn't like, it was okay to be a geek, but it wasn't okay to be a nerd. Nowadays, if you're a nerdy kid, okay, you still get beaten up in high school, but then you can go on Tumblr and see all the hundreds of thousands of other kids who are also getting beaten up at school. Nerd power. Is there anybody here from out of town? Oh, I like this, about 20 hands went, oh, woo, woo, woo! Is there anybody here who's not from Finland? Do I hear a bunch of Danes? Is that what I'm hearing? Are there Danes here? Is there anybody here from the underworld? Good. Because that would have really made that joke awkward. Okay, why don't I introduce to you from the organizational team, Olli-Kalle. Would you please come to the stage? He's going to say a few words of welcome from the team. Please welcome Olli-Kalle.
No niin. Tervetuloa Ropeconiin minunkin puolestani. Minä vastaan täällä näistä avajaisista ja toivottavasti vielä päättäjäisistäkin. Muutaman sanan ajattelin sanoa suomeksi, koska tämä juonto nyt tulee olemaan muuten englannin kielellä. Onko täällä ketään, joka ei ymmärrä englantia? Hyvä. Sitten voimme jatkaa varmaan.
Oh, kiitos. Yes. Gosh, I wasn't expecting it to be that short. You're very, very welcome, apparently, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes. Hyvä Olli-Kalle. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, there's this thing about nerd culture. Like, okay, my parents were nerds, but they were in the closet. They were closet nerds. I realized this by the age of 30 because the thing is, we didn't have any board games in the house that weren't like Monopoly. And we didn't have any books in the house that were any more nerdy than the Kinsey Report. Kudos to anybody who gets that one. and then I realized that my middle name actually comes from the Lord of the fucking Rings. And only when my friends got old enough to marry and have kids, or have kids without married or whatever, and start to name their kids, that I realized that is a freaking nerdy thing to do. Like, that is hardcore nerd. So I guess it's in the blood or something like that. I'm going to bring up one more person who's going to give you a few more words of welcome in Finnish. Ville, will you come to the stage, please? Ville is representing the Ropecon Association, eli Ropecon ry, vai?
Joo, Ropecon ry. Yes, terve. Eli tosissaan Ropecon ry on se järjestö, jonka tehtävänä on pitää huolta, että Ropecon on vielä ensi vuonna ja toivottavasti vielä 10 vuoden päästä. Mutta 10 vuotta sitten, tai 20 vuotta sitten meitä ei ollut olemassa, vaan tätä tapahtumaa teki muutama melko sekopäinen kaveri, jotka päätti vaan, että hei, pistään pystytään kon, koska maailmallakin on sellaisia. Siitä on nyt 20 vuotta suurin piirtein aikaa. Tämä on 20. kon, juhlakon. Ja oikeasti on älyttömän siistiä nähdä, että tämä on tapahtunut näin monta kertaa. Joka ikisen kerran tämän on rakentanut suuri määrä vapaaehtoisia, jotka tekevät talkoovoimilla, niin kuin Johanna sanoi, by the people, for the people. Ja musta se on ihan älyttömän upeaa. ja mä haluaisin nähdä, että se jatkuu vielä ainakin seuraavat 20 vuotta. Joten tervetuloa myös meidän järjestön puolesta kaikille. Kiitoksia.
Kiitos, Ville. You take them off stage. So we do have a bunch of gamers in the house and a bunch of nerds in the house. Do we have any metalheads in the house? Do we have any queers in the house? I love the sound difference between those two. Can I hear the metalheads again? And can I hear the queers again? Dude, that's brilliant. Oh, the one thing I love is that this happened, I don't know if any of you guys went to Pride or if you went to Tuska. Now, the thing was that they have like Pride, Helsinki Pride was on the same weekend as Tuska, which is the metal festival in Helsinki. So you have a bunch of people in glitter sort of singing, if you like it then you should have put a ring on it, and a bunch of other people going, Hairatami. I think they should have combined them and say, if you like it then you should have set it on fire. But one thing that nerds prove, and people like us prove, is that you can't be put into any box, right? You got to do all kinds of things that you like. Like, what happens if you're a queer metalhead? That's what I'm talking about. Which one did you go to? Did you go to Pride or Tuska? Tuska. I went to Pride. But the thing is, like, how would you choose what to wear? I mean, and how would you spot the people who are around town? If somebody's wearing, if they got like a lot of My Little Pony kind of themed glitter Speedo stuff, I bet they're going to Pride. If they're wearing like, the Matrix coat down to the, well, actually down below the ground level, they're probably going to Tuska. But if they're wearing just leather, black leather, you have to count how many pieces of leather? I can just see this, like, poor gay metalhead going in his head, like, I want to go and be free and dance with all my friends. I want to be happy. I want to be miserable with all of the people around me for an entire weekend. We live in Finland. That's every weekend. And by the end, it would be glitter, hate, glitter, hate, glitter, hate, glitter, hate, glitter, hate, glitter, hate, my precious. And I'm not going to say anything about, I bet there's some hardcore Lord of the Rings fans in here who have a big thing about canon, but I will just say, I'm not trying to say anything about Gollum, but he doesn't wear very much, and he does follow around two guys, and he has a big thing about jewelry. I don't know, man. Anyway, I would like to introduce our first guest of honor for the whole con. Will you please welcome to the stage, Vincent Baker.
Hello.
I got my handy interview notes now. Vincent Baker has, is the D delectable? Dude? Dishy?
David.
You mind if I call you delectable?
Feel free.
All right, and you've written games like, for instance, Kill Puppies for Satan?
Kill Puppies for Satan.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Apocalypse World?
Can I get a metal roar for Kill Puppies for Satan? Thank you.
Yeah. So the NSA knows he's here. All right, and what are you going to be hyping here? Which games are you going to be playing here?
Here I'm going to be playing Apocalypse World, which is my newest big game, and The Sundered Land, which is my newest little game, and Murderous Ghosts also, which is a horror game I made a couple of years ago.
Okay, good. And so whereabouts are you from?
I'm from Western Massachusetts in New England.
And so why do you design games then?
Why do I design games? I don't know. I started when I was 8 or something designing games, and my parents never put a stop to it, so
And then it turned out to be Kill Puppies for Satan.
They regret it now.
Parents in the room. All right, what happened? Speaking of Kill Puppies for Satan, I understand that you had some interesting times running that at a certain con?
Sure. Yeah. Oh, well, I had interesting times running that at many cons.
But we had one in particular.
There's these two guys come up to the booth. I'm selling Kill Puppies for Satan at Gen Con, the first year, maybe, 2003. And these two guys come up to the booth, and one's a little older and one's a little younger, and they say, we are interested in this Kill Puppies for Satan thing. And I said, great. You know, I've been doing this all day. So I say, okay, sit down. You know, here's the character sheet. Make your character your cold, fucked up, relentless, brutal dudes. A certain number of people hate you, so write down that number. You roll dice to find out how many people hate you. And then I say, okay, tell me just a little bit about your characters. And the one says, well, we're father and son. And I think this is the best thing ever. I'm like, oh my God, you're father and son puppy killers for Satan? So like you get together, and I go on this whole riff about father and son puppy killing for Satan. I think that's the best thing I've ever heard. And then one, no, we're father and son. Oh, excuse me. It was a short demo after that.
Now I was reading about that. You're going to be doing a couple panels as well.
Yep.
Now the first one is.
Is tonight? That's
Oh, this one,
Vincent Baker,
the man, the
vision,
legend,
something.
the games, the Botox. No, I don't know what
something.
it is.
Yeah. I didn't write that.
Right. But then you will be talking about publishing indie games.
Yeah. So tonight I've been designing and publishing games for 10 years now. And so that's what I'm going to be talking about tonight. And then tomorrow, I believe, I'm talking about how to design games that don't suck. It's very difficult. Games suck.
Very important. And about the indie game publishing, do you think that's going to be of interest to a lot of people, like outside of the U.S. as well? Do you know? Is it going to be the same kind of model here?
I have no idea. We'll find out. I'll ask questions. I'll say who designed this game, who publishes games here in Finland. I'm eager to find out.
Right. Do we have any people who publish games here, self-publish, indie publishers here in the house? Not yet. Well, that's why you need to go to this program item. Yeah.
Good. For goodness sake, publish games, people.
I wanted to ask a couple of quick things about, for instance, what do you find, this is your first time in Finland?
Yes.
Do you like how people get, this is your first time in Finland? Yes. This is because everybody knows we have this thing called a sauna, where you have to get naked with a bunch of people and have a conversation.
So
For some reason, North Americans tend to find this a little bit weird.
it's a little weird. Like, and I definitely have that. You know, I grew up religious, grew up very religious, and I'm weird. But also, for a bunch of years, I went to pagan festivals in the U.S. Like, I've been naked with a bunch of people having conversations before. That's
you are allowed to be here. One other quick thing. How has your own kind of way of making games changed since you started? Where do you think?
Oh, it hasn't changed. Like, the games themselves have changed. But the process of making them hasn't changed a bit. I mean, the muse, right, keeps you up till 4 a.m. writing garbage, and I'm like, please just let me go to bed. And the muse is like, no, you have to write this. And I'm like, but it's shit. I'm gonna throw. Can I swear here? I'm gonna throw this away in the morning. And I don't care. You must write.
Do you ever have this thing where you have an idea in the middle of the night, and you know that if you turn on the light, you will definitely not sleep for the next 40 minutes.
Yes.
So you have this thing, you bargain, you do the cost-benefit analysis. Is this idea good enough to turn on the light for? Because if I don't turn on the light and write it down, it will be gone.
It'll be gone. You try to memorize it.
Okay,
try
exactly.
And try to
Precies.
memorize it. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, welcome absolutely to Ropecon. We're really, really chuffed to have you here. I'm going to come and play your game.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome.
yeah,
I'll see you there.
absolutely. Have a great time. And please give a warm round of
Thank you.
applause. Now, Let's see, a couple of business things. I have been asked to emphasize a few things. There is a bar! But you can only have your alcohol. You can't use your own alcohol inside that bar. We don't know what happens when you're in your own car somewhere down the road. But definitely on the premises, you have to go to the bar, and you do have to go to the bar. This is, by the way, in case you weren't informed, this is basically non-negotiable. You can have a Coca-Cola, but you have to go to the bar. If you can't find it, it's because Diplo is bigger on the inside. Fucking hell! Have you ever? I've been here for years and I still get lost every single time. Basically, what you sort of do is you can put your head to one side and follow that way, and eventually the vortex will get you somewhere to the info desk. Then they give you directions. Tilt your head the other way. Off you go. But kudos to the organizers. There are over 200 program items, not counting the games. So a big round of applause for them to organizing all that. Is there somebody who is here at Ropecon for the first time? All right, now this is for you guys. There is a gala on Saturday, as you probably know. Lots of people dress up on Saturday and have a really great time. If you've never experienced the rock, paper, scissors tournament, it is not to be missed. There's absolutely plenty of stuff going on. And please, this is your weekend. Have fun. Be courageous. Go and join a game or join a table somewhere and just chat up with people. Are you ready for our second guest of honor? All right. Kevin Wilson, will you please come to the stage? Now, Kevin is a board game designer, used to be a role-play tabletop designer, is that right?
Yes.
And you're most famous for Arkham Horror, is that right?
Yeah, that's my biggest game.
Okay, and so what else have you got under your belt?
Well, I worked on 7th Sea, the role-playing game, and Spycraft, the role-playing game, Descent, Journeys in the Dark, the board game, Sid Meier's Civilization, the board game. Bunch of board games for the most part.
Wasn't there a Game of Thrones board game?
There was a Game of Thrones board game.
Did it have a wedding?
No.
Okay. You gonna fix that?
Ah.
So, and you are going to be, you're going to be demoing a new game, is that right?
Yeah, it's a game called Generation Hex.
Right?
And that one's not published yet, but it's going to be on Kickstarter in a couple months, probably here. So.
Okay. And have you played that before at other places yet?
A couple of people have played it, but it hasn't been seen too much yet.
But this is kind of like first exclusive rights to a new game, is that right?
Kind of, sort of.
No, say it is.
Oh, sure.
What else could we talk about? I wanted to ask you. So, Hound of Tindalos, Sid Meier, Rainbow Dash, Shag, Marry, Throw Off a Cliff.
All right. Jeez. It's that Shag one. That one's tough.
Yeah, now that I look at that one. It depends what Sid Meier was like, really.
He's a nice guy, but I don't know.
Okay, well, I'll give you then hang out and have a beer with.
All right. Hang out with, definitely, Sid Meier's.
Okay.
Have a beer with, sure, the Hound of Tindalos. And what was the other one?
Rainbow Dash.
Okay, a Rainbow Dash, whatever the other one was you said.
Yeah, throw off a cliff.
Oh, well, she'll fly anyways, it's fine.
Oh, that's cheating! I should have thought of that before I wrote that down. God damn it. And so you're also going to be giving, I believe, some talks. One is about, this is really interesting, about the 3 pillars of game design. And you say they are math, art, and psychology.
Yeah, those are my 3 pillars of game design. They might be different for other people.
Yeah, you got some love for that. And when are you going to be talking about that one?
That one's Saturday, I believe. So tomorrow.
So what happens, for instance, if you leave one out?
Well, it falls over. You got to have all 3 to have it stand up.
Right.
Well, you know, if you leave out the math, you have a really bad game that falls apart. If you leave out the psychology, the players don't have any fun. And if you leave out the art, well, you're not really saying much of anything at that point.
Right. Good. You heard it here first. And the other talk that you're going to be giving is, I believe, oh goodness, do you have another talk after that?
Yeah, on Sunday we're talking about the business of game design.
Ah, of course, yes.
So if you want to, you know, I talk about the process of selling games to companies and how
Right.
that works and kind of, you know, how much % royalties do you try and get from companies, things like that. So,
And is this a really tough thing?
it's not a lot of, the information is not usually out in the open.
Right.
So I feel like that should be more open for people to know that information.
Right.
So.
And are there a lot of like really bad contracts out there?
Oh yeah, you
Okay.
can lose your shirt if you're not paying attention to that stuff.
Okay.
So yeah.
Although is that mostly? Do you find that's mostly a thing from in the U.S. as well?
I feel like the royalties thing is pretty much, you know, all game design that works that way. But I'm not 100% sure how it works in Finland. But I'm pretty sure it's about the same for that stuff.
And so you haven't been to Finland before,
No, I haven't.
and you haven't been to the sauna yet.
No, I haven't.
I sense a mission, guys. There's 2 North Americans who haven't been to the sauna, haven't had the proper Finnish experience where you get beaten up with a bit of a twig. And everybody tells you how much they love you. Anyway, absolutely welcome. I'm really stoked to have you here as well.
Oh,
It's
thank you for having me.
You know what? I've been reading your Twitter feed to try to I've been looking up people trying to figure out who they are. I look at his Twitter feed. There's no anger on his Twitter feed. You are the nicest person on Twitter. Don't worry, it's a good thing, I promise. But absolutely, welcome, and we'll be pleased to see you again during the weekend
All right, thank you.
in the sauna. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have been absolutely lovely and attentive, and I think we're just about done with the opening ceremonies, except we have some music for you. Are you up for that? We have a homegrown band. Their name is Halda, and they can be described as folk, Shire folk, as in not Shire folk, but folk from the Shire. So would you please put your hands together and welcome to the stage, Halda.
In the gloaming before the night when the woods are tinged with twilights and dewdrops glisten green on cobwebs crystalline. From amidst the trees appear the fickle folk of shadows fear to join the dance of mist and shade, the vesper somber serenade. win. The ones and try it hard. Drums deep and voices change. The dance now becomes a chase of shapes and figures scattering. What I change, creatures howling in the night. Follow with them, stepping on into a fairy ring. For if you do, you can't run no hide. You'll be dancing for your life. And come the morn, come the day, the forest deep inside the lake, all the meadows mild and still, heaps of heather on the hills, undulating in their quiet breeze. Violets, bluebells, lilies white, leaning towards the
Vau. Kiitoksia. Kiitoksia erittäin paljon. Kesäflunssaisia terveisiä Susirajalta siis. Hei, me olemme Halda. Tämä on hobittifolkkia Joensuusta. Äskeinen biisi oli nimeltään A Midsummer Night's Dream. Seuraava biisi kertoo. Käsi ylös, kuka on joskus kattonut sarjaa nimeltä Game of Thrones tai lukenut niitä kirjoja.
Kysytkö oikeasti se kysymys? Kysytkö sen kysymys?
No en mä näe teitä kuitenkaan, kun ne valot paistaa siinä, mutta ehkä joku on. Tämä seuraava biisi vie meidät Westerosiin, Dothrakien juhliin, vähän vaikka minne. Tämä on The Horse and the Rider.
grasslands beneath the searing sun, home to my fathers, back to my son. I will kill the iron chair, the throne of his ancestors.
Kiitoksia. Annanpa mikin Huilistille. Nyt on vähän sauron kurkussa.
Kuuluuko tästä? Vai kuuluuko tästä paremmin? Kuuluuko tästä yhtä hyvin? Kuuletteko te mitään? Hyvä.
Jotain kuuluu, yes.
Sitten meidän tarvitsee muita mikkejä. Mikä meillä on seuraava? Meidän seuraavan biisin nimi on Believe. Ei mulla ainakaan tässä vaiheessa vielä mitään. Ja vaan ajattelin sanoa, että minäkin sanon asioita tänään. Se on hieno biisi.
Kiitoksia. Tämä oli Believe.
Kitarassa Visa Korttuun. Oli muuten hieno intro. En ole edes kuullut koskaan ennen sitä introa. Tai tuota introa.
Seuraavaksi lähdetään mustalaiskaravaanin matkaan. Instrumentaalimusiikkia. Älkääkä karatko sieltä, kyllä minä näen täältä valojen välistä. Tämän jälkeen tulee vielä erittäin hyvä yksi biisi. Mutta nyt karavaani lähtee matkaan. Tämä on The Caravan. Kiitoksia. Sellainen oli se karavaani. Ja seuraavaksi meillä onkin... Kaikki on varmaan lukenut tarinan Punahilkasta tai ainakin kuullut siitä.
Niin. Se menee vähän samalla tavalla kuin minä olen tästä kohta menossa, eli ollaan soitettu teille hirveästi kaikkea hyvää musiikkia. Sitten minä menen ainakin tuonne Taffeen pelaamaan vampyyrikorttipeliin niin kuin Suomen suurinta turnausta. Teistä en tiedä. Mutta sitten minulle tuli siitä mieleen se, että minähän katsoin just vähän aikaa sitten Papit ja Vampyrs-leirin loppuun. Yes! Willow, oot niin kuuma. Eikö tää? Niin, tässä tää menee vähän samalla tavalla kuin vampyyrit ja Buffy ja Hilkka ja Susi ja... No te kuulette kohta.
Kuka syö ja kenet ja mites se nyt meni? Tää on Little Red Riding Hood.
Soita Ville.
Soita sitä selloa.
Little Red Riding Hood in the footsteps of the wood, seeking him, treading him by the trick of the blood. She searches for the beast through the narrows, across the hollows, and through the moonlit ravines. She searches every shadow, she turns every stone before the night is over. I'll have you as my own.
Well donated.
Kiitoksia. Tässä ollaankin melkein viimeisen biisin kohdalla. Tämä kappale kertoo viimeisestä rannasta. Viimeisestä rannasta tämä on Bound. Kiitoksia paljon. Sitten onkin meidän viimeisen biisin aika.
No, vähän niin kuin. Meidän oli tarkoitus soittaa, kun on kuitenkin Ropeconin vuosijuhla, niin kaikkea. Meillä oli tarkoitus soittaa teille aivan jäätävän paljon pornopalkkaa. Mutta meille sanottiin, että kun näitä videokuvataan, niin tekijänoikeussyistä me ei saada välttämättä. Huomasitteko te nämä mahdolliset porsaanreijät tässä jutussa? Mutta siis piikki menee näin, että koska me ei saada soittaa teille pornopalkkaa, niin me soitan teille a piece of loathsome jazz.
Tässä tulee, tää on nyt sitä hobittijatsia. Tää on sitä hobittijatsia nyt.
Me soitetaan kanssa parit soolot tähän, älkää hätääntykö.
Niin, tää ei lopu koskaan, tää on
Se kuuluu
jatsia.
asiaan. Peace out.
Come to me this night. It's so cold, and I am only just a float. And oh, lies the sun. Rising. Why are you so far away? The stars are vague. How the road must be. Follow me, the shadow and through sheet down the hidden path, past the falling leaves of fire. Follow me from this failing world into a summer and the sun that will never fade away. Die, my heart still aglow. Silent blackbird falls into her forlorn song. So low lies the sun. Rising. Kuulussa meillä on Petrus Makkonen. Ja kitarassa tuo Tikkalan Elrond Visa Forsblom.
siis Ville Lodders. Kiitoksia. Kiitoksia erittäin paljon. Kiitoksia. Me olemme siis Halda ja meitä voitte tavata musisoimassa onko se sana? Drupaduuri soimassa tuolla ympäri aluetta. Tulkaa nykimään hihasta, tulkaa vaikka jammailemaan meidän kanssa, jos näette. Mutta Halda kiittää. Kiitoksia oikein paljon.
Kiitos Halda. Nämä Ropeconin avajaiset olivat nyt tässä. Pitäkää kivaa. Muistakaa syödä ja peseytyä.
Ropecon.